eventually as the border area. For 1993, the Bloemfontein branch of the Sports Car Club have chosen to condense the rally route into an area of newly developed forest lands surrounding the small town of Maclear. We spoke to the clerk of the course, Fred Fruman.
Basically, we had to move away from the roads that, as everybody says, were being practiced on. And we decided to move down to Maclear because of the availability of forest roads in this area. We've managed to put together a very compact event, and I think a very challenging event and a very different event from previous years. It's all on private roads, all in forest areas, and the roads, I think, are very trying for the drivers.
Before we look at the NGK Mountain Trial, let's review the rallies that have created the closest race for the National Rally Championship in years. After having won 2 events in a row at the start of the season, Serge Damso arrived at the Castrol International Rally the odds-on favourite. Well into the event, Toyota's #1 crew held a comfortable lead until a fuel problem left the Conquest standing deep in a forest stage. Both Toyota crews were later excluded for infringement of the rules. Jan Habig, second overall on the Castrol, pulled him up into the championship contention. Having failed to finish the Castrol, Sarel van der Merwe attacked the forests of the Eastern Transvaal to win the Sasol Rally for the 2nd year in a row and claim the 34 points on the championship log. Serge completed only 4 stages of the Sasol event, which set the scene for the Volkswagen Algoa Rally. The VW Algoa Rally became a close-fought contest with Sarel ahead of Serge at the midpoint of the 2nd day. Serge reacted with a drive that Sarel just could not match, putting the Toyota back on the winner's ramp and once again in contention for the championship. Sarel held on to 2nd place, which was enough to put him ahead of Chart van der Walt, who had scored consistently by finishing all the events to date, with Class D honours in all but 2. Jan Habig's failure to finish the VW Algoa Rally has pushed him out of contention from the leading 3 drivers. The NGK Mountain Trial is by its very nature an endurance event. Every moment prior to the 8 AM start is used by the crews to check and then double-check the rally cars. With just minutes to go before the scheduled start, we found the Nissan crew hard at work removing the Sintra's gearbox.
Hannes, problems?
Yeah, I think there's a tooth off on the first gear. We went to just warm up the gearbox and everything, the drivetrain, and then we made a pull away on the thing and there was a noise, you know, so we think it's the first gear. They're just going to try and change it now.
So there's just a few minutes before the start. You're going to take lateness at the start?
Yeah, we'll have to do it if we want to stay in the rally. But we'll be there, don't worry.
Just meters away from the Nissan, Serge Damso and Vito Bonafide wait for the timekeeper's orders, ready to start the 1993 NGK Mountain Trial. Having been drawn first, Serge and Vito have the honour of being first into the stages. It's been 4 years since the Toyota crew last won this demanding rally, not known as one of Serge's favourite events.
This year, I hope we could do a lot better than we did last year. A new area, so it's quite interesting for the competitors and the organisers, and that it'd be quite an interesting event.
Now, Sarel's leading the championship. You obviously need points to try and take that away from him.
Yes, Sarel's the main opposition at the moment for us, so it's quite important that we keep ahead of him on the rally, trying to anyway. But it's all the end of the event, that's what tells.
As if to emphasise the point, the Conquest stalls on the line as the instruction to start is given. Navigator power replaces engine power as Vito clears the Conquest from the time control within the 20 seconds allowed. Sarel pulls the Sasol Ford Laser into the starting blocks, able to witness the plight of the Conquest, and only too aware of the importance this event holds over the championship struggle.
Sarel, a bit of pressure here. You're actually defending the championship at the moment. You worried about Serge or any of the other Class A cars?
I'm always worried about Serge, yes. I think Serge will be very quick and so should Hannes be. And I believe Habig found some more power, so I guess it's anybody's rally, this one.
Now, there are only 7 stages, so there's no real room for mistakes here. How do you see this new format working for your car?
Well, there's going to be 7 long stages, so I think a bit of the sprint format might be gone in that respect, because you've got to be in the stage for the whole 30 or 40 k's that is going to be long, so you won't drive as hard as you normally would for the fear of getting a puncture or something. And if anything goes wrong, you've still got to come out the other side. So I guess everybody will have drive with a bit of caution.
Serge gets the Conquest started with the help of a jumper battery, losing 2 minutes in open section time, but scoring no time penalties in the process. We join the Toyota in-car as they start stage 1. The road conditions vary from very rough to smooth high-speed surfaces and change as quickly as the drivers can react. Stage 1, at 12 kilometers, is the shorter stage of the rally, but soon has the Toyota crew hard at work. A steep ascent up the side of the mountain leaves no margin of error as the drop-off becomes higher and higher. The cars are released into the stage at 2-minute intervals, allowing for a dust clearance gap. Sarel enters the stage as Serge levels out and picks up speed on the plateau. Hairpin bends and reverse switchbacks break the speed, almost stalling the Class A cars with their 4-wheel drive traction. Jan Habig and Martin Boerter attack the pass in their Golf Synchro, using the newfound extra power to good effect. The Golfs proved to be the cars to beat on the 1992 event, and Jan Habig will no doubt want to repeat their previous year's performance. Down in the valley, the second Toyota Conquest, crewed by Enzo Kuhn and Johan Sielung, start the stage. After a slow start to the season, this young team have finished well up on the scoreboard in the last 2 events and will wish to do the same here. Leading the 2-wheel drive cars are Leon Boerter and Francois Jordan in their Class B Golf 16-valve GTI. Peter Baragwanoff and Charles Rieler in their 4-wheel drive Sentra Coupe, seen here in action on stage 1. The team make an early departure from the rally, completing only the first stage before engine failure crippled the car in stage 2. The super competitive husband and wife team of John and Sherry Sanders in their 2-wheel drive Class A Volkswagen Golf. Skalk and Sue Berger have their hands full in Class C, with Glenn Derman and Dave Lebkowitz piling on the pressure. Glenn and Dave eventually better the Bergers' time over the first stage by just 4 seconds. Ben and Isabel van der Westhuizen manage only 1 stage, joining the retirement list in stage 2. Stage 2 is a long 36.6 kilometre section through the low-lying Mondi forests, eventually leading the cars to the King's Neck cutting before the long, twisting descent. Sarel's Ford takes the lead on the road as Serge takes extra service time after stage 1. Sarel could only manage a 4th fastest time on stage 1 and will post 3rd fastest on the stage. Jan Habig follows Sarel through stage 2, his Golf Synchro, a good 20 seconds off the leading Class A pace. Serge arrives at the cutting, now running 3rd on the road. The Toyota team won the first stage in a time of 8 minutes and 27 seconds, thus taking an early lead on the event. They win stage 2 by 14 seconds over Hannes Krobler's Nissan, which is running down in the field but posting 2nd best times. Enzo Kuhn keeps his conquest competitive, running within the top 4 cars on the scoreboard. Sarel and France clock into stage 3 first, thereby keeping their place ahead of the field on the road. .7 kilometers of rough forest road make stage 3 one of the toughest and roughest of the 7 special stages. Looking through the Ford's windscreen, the road seems smooth, but the ruts and jumps quickly have the drivers off the power and onto the brakes. Stages of this length are unusual in South African rallying, and both the crews and the cars take a pounding. Sarel's eventual stage time of 21 minutes and 30 seconds is still a good 6 seconds off the pace. The Cosworth motor just not able to deliver the extra power Sarel keeps calling for.
3, 2, 1. Caution. River crossing. Keep it to the...
Jan Habig seems to throw caution to the wind on stage 3, but pays the price when the Golf loses its engine oil and stops in the stage. Serge Damso, on the other hand, chooses a cautious pace through the water crossing. The leaders taking no unnecessary chances, but losing valuable time in the process. Enzo Kuhn powers the second Toyota through the stage in a winning time of 21 minutes and 24 seconds, beating his teammate Serge Damso by a full 10 seconds. Leon Botha continues to dominate Class B, ahead of Tony Ball and Brady Dabner. John Saunders picks his way through the rough stuff, keeping the Golf intact and only too happy to give away a few seconds in the process. Sue and Schalk Berger, another privateer team, feeling the effect of the bumps in their pocket and choosing to drive around the rough patches rather than over them. Lying second in Class B, Tony Ball has taken on the services of lady navigator Irma Kurza for the NGK Mountain Trial. The pair remain well off the Botha-Jordan times. Glenn Durman and Dave Levkovitz still in contention, but losing time steadily to the Bergers in Class C. Hannes Grobler and Douglas Judd in the Nissan Sentra continue to pile on the pressure while running 9th on the road. Hannes has scored second fastest on stages 1 and 2 and continue to do so on stage 3, clocking in a time just 1 second slower than Enzo Kuhn. Driving with the championship in mind, Class D favourites Chart van der Walt and Jaco van der Linde have serious competition from this Durban-based crew, Ralph and Peter Chadwick, who currently lead Class D on the scoreboard. Brady Dabner and Graham Stuck not able to get their dealer team Golf on the Class B pace. Stage 4 is a faster, more open stage, which takes the cars up and over Mapasa's neck, where switchbacks and hairpin bends slow the pace down.